false idol.
Idols. Now, in this podcast on RNG, I tell you never to follow me, never to look up to me. I'm your brother, just like you have a brother. That means that I'm here to help. That means I'm next to you. I'm not over you. You dig what I'm saying? That means I might have a gift, I might have insight, but I'm not over you. You're your own man, you're your own person. And it's important that you learn how to be your own man, your own leader. But in this podcast, I'm talking about idols. And there's something that a lot of you cats need to know, because you idolize people. You look for them to give you an answer before you look to yourself. You look for other people to give you insight before you develop your own insight. You look to copy off what I say instead of developing what I say. And, improvising, adding on, adjusting it to where you live, how you dwell and bail, homie. You hear me say that a lot on my podcast. That all I can give you is the basics, and then you adapt it and change it and make it work where you at. You put the whoop on it where you at. I bring up idols because you have to understand the downfall of a man is when he praises someone else and looks up to someone else for all of his guidance. When he looks to someone else for the answers to the world. You idolize a man when you do that. You idolize your preacher, your imam. You idolize these people because you think to yourself, this man has more insight than me and more knowledge than me, and he's been to further places than me. And you can go be those places yourself. See, an idol usually comes up because of a man who does not go and experience life for himself. And in your life, they have taught you to be smart, right? Smart is you can learn from me, you can learn from them, you can learn from them, you can learn from them, and then you can put all your shit together, right? But that never takes away the fact that I'm the cat who actually lived it. I'm the cat who went down them streets. I'm the cat in Brooklyn. I'm the cat in New York. I'm the cat in, in Miami. I'm the cat in Compton. I'm that dude. I lived all this shit that you listen and learn from on this podcast. And I tell you not to idolize me, because I know it's the downfall of a man to idolize another man. Especially when we all can be God of this earth and unto ourselves, and we need to think that way. The reason I bring this up to you on this podcast is because idolizing people that have money is goddamn just the craziest thing you can do. Because you're going to find out, even if you stuck next to me, I'm sure I would let you down. Not saying that I have so much negative. I try to be a moral man. I try to be a good man. Not for you, but for me. I try to be that for myself. You understand what I mean? Not for anybody else in this world. But idolizing people when it comes to this chip game is a fucking problem. You gotta understand what I tell you all the time about people who get money. You hear it all the time when if a man is alcoholic, you give him more money, he drinks more alcohol. If a man is this and he does this, he has more sex with women. If he's on drugs, he has more shit for drugs. What do you think a man who has money does? What do you think that kind of power brings out the average motherfucker in this game? If a cat is not trying to be moral, if he's not trying to keep himself, self-contained, there's a lot of shit a man with money can do out on these streets. And you know a couple of them in your wild imagination, but when you actually get the money, young homie, we throwing it up 10 times that amount. See, right now you think, if I was rich, I would have a Maserati, right? And I would just date some fine women. But you're not really going to the level of a motherfucker having orgies and pissing and shitting on women. You don't have that in your mind yet. See, let me tell you to you straight. Most people can't handle chips, homie. It ain't because chips ain't out there. It's because most of y'all gonna fuck yourself up on the way to getting those chips. Some of y'all gonna try to be gang related because maybe that's the industry you in. Some of y'all gonna try to be cool and y'all gonna have babies by women who gonna take you down. Some of y'all gonna try to be something you ain't. Some of y'all gonna try to do something you can't. You understand what I'm saying? And you gonna keep trying because you keep thinking I got money. This is just the nature of the beast, man. When I tell you I walk amongst devils, homie, I walk amongst devils. I didn't tell you I walk amongst angels. I didn't tell you I walk amongst the brothers. I walk amongst devils. You understand what I'm saying? That if you knew what their real life was, you know what I'm saying, you would have no respect for them. This is why I'm trying to teach you early so you don't have to fuck around like that and learn what I need to learn. And that is, You need to get the transaction done and go home, young homie. You don't want to be around these motherfuckers. You don't want to be around these motherfuckers walking around doing all kind of shit in the dark and got enough money to who gives a fuck if it comes out into the light. You need to respect the game and the hustle you in. You don't need to idolize these motherfuckers. It comes down to even when you look at religious people, you know what I'm saying? Whether you Muslim, Christian, or whatever you happen to be, right? You look at these cats and you realize that they say one thing and they do another. You understand what I'm saying? And you find out these people ain't what they say they are. Some of these guys are the moral leaders, but they not moral. But they telling you to be moral. What I'm trying to get you to understand is when you build a man up to this level of idolizing him. Idolizing means perfect. And you got to grow up as a person to know that things aren't perfect. And you got to also grow up to know that you should not even be around a motherfucker who's not striving to be perfect. I learned that early in the game. Sitting around motherfuckers who got a wife and kids and then got a girlfriend. Old Jewish white man got a girlfriend over in Cali but got a whole nother family in Florida, in Orlando. You understand what I'm saying? With the kids and everything else, and this man is walking around trying to tell me how to be a good person. When I know his dirt, I know who he is. But he don't see no problem with it because fuck it, I work for him. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck I care whether you know, you peon motherfucker, pick up a box. That's what he could have told me, right? Straight up. So when you idolize a person in this chip game, you fucking up. When you look at these dudes and you say, I want to be like him, I want to make money like him, I want to spend like him, you fucking up. I tell you to look at the game and the pattern and the angle in which a man goes about his chips, not the man himself. He is not worth paying attention to. When I tell you all the time in my other podcasts that, you know what I'm saying, when the messenger is only as important until the message is delivered. Once the message is delivered, he stops being important. Once you understand, once you pick up the game, homie, them motherfuckers who you thought were so great, they need to drop to a regular man because he knew something you didn't know. God didn't ordain them, didn't bless them, didn't tap them on the head. Even the motherfuckers in your religions didn't tap these motherfuckers on the head. God didn't come out and point this motherfucker out. What I'm trying to get you to see is that when you idolize a person, when you stare at the TV, when you read these books, when you look outside and you say, damn, that motherfucker really doing it. You got to learn to separate that response from I respect the game, I respect the hustle. You understand what I'm saying? I respect that this motherfucker got out of, Cali Oak Apartments. I respect that cat. I respect Master P. I respect all these dudes because I know from my experiences of what it's like to get out and then blow the fuck up, right? So I respect them on that level, but I don't know them dudes to know them any other way, and I really don't want to know them any other way. Because when it comes to this chip game, homie, I'm only here for the chips. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to get on your yacht. I'm not here to party with hoes. I'm not here for all that shit. That ain't the kind of king and god I am, homie. I don't walk around like that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have a reason to be next to devils. I don't have no reason to be at their parties or trying to accept their motherfucking awards. You gotta understand when it comes to money, what people are willing to do to get it, what people are willing to do to keep it, and what people will do when they enjoy it. If you don't understand those three things, homie, on the way up, we trying to figure out what they were willing to do to get it. Once you get it, you're gonna try to figure out how motherfuckers keep it. Now, once you get past the keep it point, you're gonna get to the point where you say, how do these motherfuckers entertain it? That's why you see all these motherfuckers going to Sag Harbor if you black over on in you know what I'm saying? I forgot the other place, wherever all them white people go to have fun out in New York. I forgot the name of the area, but it's some rich area. But black people usually go to Sag Harbor, and you'll see these other groups, and you see all these people, and you'll say, oh man, I want to be like them. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers dressing up like rabbits and getting fucked in the ass, homie. You really don't know. And all this shit will come to a shock to you because it came to a shock to me. Isn't it funny how what you see on TV when motherfuckers say certain things are adult? Haven't you noticed that the word adult means porn? I mean, having that locked into your motherfucking head, what the world considers to be adult is porn, smut. What someone considers to be adult is alcohol. What someone considers to be adult is vulgar. Haven't you figured this shit out? Haven't you paid attention that it ain't nothing in this world where they say it's adult that is clean? And you idolizing the motherfucker with money and means, and you over here thinking that this is what you want to be? Motherfuckers having all kind of shit going on. These dudes ain't really who you think they are, but they did make the money, homie. They did. I'm trying to get you to understand the levels of hustling and where you got to back up. Even when it comes to me, back up from your thoughts and your, if I just had the knack like Freeman. Motherfucker, I'm telling you my knack. I'm telling you the angles and shit the way I think about it. Keep working on it, homie, and you'll develop your own shit and be God unto yourself. You don't need to see me as God. You understand what I'm saying? I see you as God and the potential to be God. Now, whether we get there is a whole nother motherfucking story. Right? But you don't need to idolize any man in this game, any woman in this game. There should be no heroes, no mentors, no person that you model your game after. You're modeling your game after the angle. You understand what I'm saying? If you wanted to be like Martha Stewart, you would model your game off to the magazine she bought and the cooking show she created and the clothes she did. You would watch her power moves, homie. You dig what I'm saying? You would watch what she picked up and you would understand the angle to it. You wouldn't sit there and say, I'm going to do exactly what Martha Stewart did, but she went and got publishing. Okay, that's what she did. And then she went and got cooking shows. And that's what she did. Then she went and got clothing. It don't matter if your clothing or your angles were Caribbean food, Black Men magazine, and goddamn the African cloth, the kente cloth. If that was the way to your empire, you just got to see the angle at which she got her shit. But you don't need to idolize the motherfucker in this game. See, the world set it up, homie, that you always looking up. And you bypass God for these devils in front of you. God's up there and God's down here. So you look up, you look out, away from your body to find God. And then you naturally idolize someone. Instead of looking in your hands and sitting in your room and saying, I need to figure this shit out. You look outside of yourself. So on the way to looking up, when you pray, you look up at the sky and you say, God, if you can hear me. And if a plane roll by, you say, well, maybe that was God. No, it's a motherfucking devil flying the plane. Right? Oh no, there's a cloud and that cloud look like baby Jesus. No, that's just randomness in the world. If you look at grass long enough, homie, you're going to be able to see some shit on the grass. What I'm trying to get you to understand is do not ever in this chip game idolize anyone. Anyone. And all these motherfuckers who don't know, they keep trying to get you to idolize people and y'all don't see that yet. They try to get you to say, well, this motherfucker was a titan of an industry, right? And this motherfucker made cars, and this motherfucker made wheels, and this motherfucker made Yahoo, and this motherfucker made Yoo-hoo. You understand what I'm saying? They keep trying to make you look at these people in a certain way. What did these people do? Did they make the car? Or did they make the apparatus that got people around? That's the angle, not the product, the angle. I try to get y'all to understand this, share this with you, because you guys want to have someone to put on the wall. You know what I mean? These are my heroes. What the fuck? Who are they, Superman? These are my heroes. Trying to break that slavery mentality y'all got. Because in order to break it, you got to think that you the cat coming down the street. I'm God in the flesh, not them. That's just another dude. He realized who he is. And I'm happy for him. I'm on a grind to realize who I am and bring the power and the glory and the majesty of who the fuck Daniel Freeman is on this earth every day. It ain't blasphemy. It ain't disrespectful. It ain't arrogant. It ain't cocky for me to only see you as a man. That's who you are. Right? But they tell you need to idolize someone. And you guys build it up. You've been listening to me for about 5 years, I guess. About damn near 6. And you're sitting back saying, yeah, this Freeman dude, he know a lot. And I'm happy to share, brother. That's what I do. This is what God charged me to do. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't want you to idolize me. This is why when I tell you I don't want to be out in the street and all this shit, because guess what they do when you come and see a motherfucker like me speak, homie? Right? I don't want to say a brother like me, a motherfucker like them, because I ain't doing that shit. Guess what it is? Haven't you noticed they're always on the stage? Haven't you noticed that you sit down and you look up at the motherfucker? Haven't you noticed the angle in which they present false gods to you? Right? That you're sitting down and you're looking up, smiling. And this dude has the microphone, has command. He's behind the podium. He has command over. He's looking down at you, telling you what you could do. Don't you know mentally you see him as God? Don't you know in church, don't you see that man as God, as the representation of God, to come and give you the word of God? If I gave you food, taught you how to make food, and I helped you when you didn't have food, I'm the motherfucker that makes food. Now, if I give you God, teach you how to interpret God, and is your official translator, hand holder to meet God, you can't tell me, young motherfucker, you don't see God. That's why y'all idolize these people. That's why y'all have pictures of them. That's why you use them as your motivation. Because you don't see a man, you see God. You don't see me, you see, oh, Freeman's this dude. You know what I'm saying? This hustle. Right? No, regular cat from Compton, West Side, homie. But the thing is, I want you to know that a lot of this stuff, when it comes to money, fucks people up. Because a man will let you down, and you know this shit. Right? But you don't treat him like that. You want, I want to go and hear this man speak. For what? If a motherfucker wrote a book, why do I need to hear him speak? If a motherfucker wrote a book and he gave me his information, why do I need to shake his hand? Oh, Freeman, sometimes you just want to say thank you to a motherfucker. Well, when I see the homie on the street, when I'm walking through New York in the garment district and homie come out and he doing his thing, I'm going to say, hey, what's up, homie, man? You know, keep doing your thing, partner. I really like your shit. That's it. Randomness of God to God. Homie, I'm not looking for him. I ain't finding him. I ain't no stalker, homie. I ain't going to meet this man. What the fuck he gonna do for me? You gotta stop idolizing these cats, homie. You gotta stop idolizing these people. You are God, and whatever you produce, motherfuckers will come to see you. Those cats will come to see you. You know, my brother and one of my homies on the West, right? He always, you know, we always talk about, you know, Freeman, some of your shit from your podcast, I see it in other motherfuckers' things, you know? And I ain't naming no names because I'm glad they listen. I'm glad you listening, brother, if you know that you took my shit and tried to capitalize off of it. But I got no beef with that. Because they came to ask the God for what he can do. You understand what I'm saying? And I gave them godly advice that made him more godly to the people that follow him. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't idolize that man. You know what I mean? If he shook my hand, I'm sitting next to him, I just say, what's up? If he said, man, you Daniel Freeman, I know this is, hey man, cool. I'm glad you know, hey shit, man, God gave it to me, I give it out to everybody else. You use it to help your people and get shit moving, I'm with you, homie. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to bump gums together and break bread and have a sandwich. Man, a man walks up to another man and shows appreciation for what a man does. That's all God has given me. That's all I need. And if a man does not come up to me and shake my hand, but he points me out and he knows who I am, and he proceeds to go do what he needs to do, then that's all God needs to give me. I ain't asking you to step out of your lane to come and shake my motherfucking hand, partner. You know what I'm saying? It don't help nothing. You know what I'm saying? But don't idolize anybody in this game. And you're going to be cocky, and you're going to be arrogant, and you're going to think you're the one. But if you ask anybody who did make it, guess what they are? Cocky, arrogant, and they think they the one. So why are these slavery-filled thoughts in your motherfucking head, homie? So when you go to work, you can think of somebody as your superior, as your supervisor, your superior advisor, as your boss. So you say this shit and you feel like you got something, and again, you look up to the motherfucker. You walk up to the motherfucker. You come in your humble place and you knock on his door like you enter in the kingdom of God. Excuse me, boss, excuse me. And then the motherfuckers feel entitled when they have that. And it's the same thing you have, I'm telling you not to idolize anyone. Because a man with money and power, you have to see what kind of man he is. Most of these motherfuckers are devils in the flesh. Most of them have devilish tendencies and want to go fuck some little boy in the ass. You don't know what the hell going on in this world. But he did make money. And we can't appreciate the angle. So when you come into your false god, your false idol's house and into his business and you walk amongst them, look around and see what he built for himself, because that's what God wants you to see. He don't want you to see this motherfucker. He didn't do shit that you can't do, young brother. He didn't do a damn thing that you can't do. So be cocky, be arrogant, put number one on your fucking jersey, homie, like me. When I come, I'm number one on the jersey, homie. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the one, I'm that dude, I'm the king, I'm running the game, homie. I ain't looking for nobody. If I met any of these brothers on the street, I would shake their hand and show appreciation for them. That's it. But most of the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm not impressed. I'm impressed with the hustle, I'm impressed with the angle, I'm impressed with what they built. Just like I look at a building. And I don't know who that man is. But I say that's a big ass building. One man owned that. I don't know who that man is. Fuck that man. But I know that's Rockefeller Center. You understand what I'm saying? I know that's a Staples Center. Who be behind this? Who the dude thinking? I want to know how they get to that point. But I see the finished product. So God has manifested the thought in my head, in my eyes, and said, that thing exists. Now, young God, are you going to go do it for yourself? I don't idolize anybody in this game. And neither should you. Next time, partner.
Absolutely.